Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how to build surveys in GoHighLevel. We're going to go step down into designing the survey, adding all the fields and giving you a live preview so that you can add it on your landing page and funnels. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Pritam. I run a GoHighLevel web design agency. To know more about what we do as an agency, just go to pritam.com and you will be able to see that we build premium funnels across the world. Let me get back to our tutorial today. So surveys are a very important part on any kind of lead generation forms, any kind of website where you really want to get details or feedback data from your clients or from your probable prospects, but you also want to make sure that it is an easy flowing method. Surveys are also important in order to qualify or disqualify people depending on the criteria that you set on your page. Okay, so I just wanted to show you how you can access the survey, right? It's pretty simple. So the thing that you need to do is you need to be in your sub account, right? Once you're in your sub account, you need to go to sites. Once you go, as you can see here, sites, and then on the top navigation bar, you need to go on survey. Okay. On the survey, click on the builder, which is the survey builder. Click on this, and you will have this the UI. Okay, this is how exactly it's going to look when you are in the survey builder. Click on add survey, or you can also click on this. By the way, you can also create folders. So in many cases, right, you will have a lot of surveys and it will be difficult for you to keep a track of it. Something like what happens with me. So you can always create a folder for it. But for this one, we're going to deep dive into it right away and show you, right? So you're going to click on this, right? So when you click on this, it's going to present you with the survey. And this is what we call as the survey builder, which means that this gives you all the options in order to build it from scratch. Okay. Okay. So in survey one, I'll write lead gen survey. Okay. Lead gen survey. Okay. Now the UI is very simple, very neat, and very clean. And I'm going to walk you through everything step by step. Okay. So on the top, you can see as I showed you that I just changed the heading of it, right? On the right hand side of that same line, you will have preview, which basically means it gives you an opportunity to preview the entire thing before you take the URL and add it to your website, which is amazing. It also has an option to integrate, which means you can get the codes, right? And you can deploy the codes on an external website, and then you can still have GoHighLevel surveys being deployed on external websites like WordPress, Webflow, Framer, Wix, and whatnot. Okay, and then you have the same option. Coming to the second line, you have here to add survey elements, right? Here is about notification settings, right? Here is about undo and redo options, and here is style and options, basically what we call as CSS in the visual format. Okay, so now what we're going to do is, and as you know, surveys are not like forms. The difference between surveys are that forms have all the fields in one box, whereas surveys, the fields are different in different boxes. So I can actually click on this, add slide, and I can create a second slide. This is a new survey builder by GoHighLevel team, and I have to appreciate the quality that they have bring in. Absolute top-notch surveys. Because think about it, if you had to buy a survey software from any other platform, right, it's going to cost you a few bucks a month on a recurring basis. But in GoHighLevel, you really get everything from start to scratch inside the builder, which is freaking amazing. Okay, so I'm just going to click on this and I'm going to see what is available with me. Okay, I just want to quickly show it to you. These are quick adds, which means that these fields are already available, right? And you can just drag and drop. If you think that these are not according to your requirements, what you can do is you can create custom fields. Okay, do not worry about thinking that, Pritam, how I'm going to create custom fields, because I'm going to show you in this video. Okay, so let's go to quick adds. You have name, first name, full name, date of birth, phone number, email, address, city. You literally have a lot of common things that normally people use. Okay, we also have like captcha, source, terms and conditions, which are very important. You also have things like images in case you want to beautify and make images. Okay, so that's possibly there. So let me write full name. Let me have the full name thing. Okay, or you also, when you click on that element, right, whatever you drag, you will have these options, right? You can change the name here, you can change the placeholder here, right? You can short label it, right? You can type things here at the bottom, it will come. You don't need it for now, right? You can make it required, you can make it hidden, right? Whatever it is. So if it's required, it won't be hidden, but then it's up to you, right? No, we don't need it, so that's fine. Okay, so but we want to make it required, we want to have people's so if they do not, so if this is not check marked, right, the required thing is not check marked, then what will happen is people can continue in the survey without filling that details. Okay, so if you want to if you want to give that option for people to continue in the survey without putting in the details, then you can keep it unchecked. Okay, just keep it unchecked, then people can do it. But if you want people that, hey, you should not skip this step, if you do, you will not be able to proceed forward, then you have to write it, and I'll show it to you that how it gives the warning message in red. And freaking amazing, fantastic job by GoHighLevel team. Okay, let me write more about it. Let me write email, right? I want an email as well. I want to drag it down, right? And I want basic details like phone number, right? So when you add phone number, it automatically adds the terms and condition. So I showed you the terms and condition here, if you see, remember, at the bottom, right? But when you write phone number, it automatically adds it. And the reason for this is because it wants to make sure that the entire process of taking the information from the customer is legalized. You are giving your customers are giving you the permission that which you're going to write in the terms of condition place, that hey, you can receive texts and calls from this phone number which you're providing to us in the as a company, right? So you can do that. And here, if you click on this, okay, so if you click on this just goes to example.com, which was normally set by GoHighLevel. What you can do here is you can just click on, so for example, when you click on this element, right, go ahead in this section, right, here, select this entire thing, okay, and then click here, and then here you can add your the link of your terms and conditions page. Okay, what you can do is you can write prithambhadra.com, right? So that's the terms and conditions page for this for survey. I'm just joking, guys, but that's how you change it. Okay, so this, let's say this is the basic information I wanted. Now I want people to go to the next step. In the next step, I want people to share a few more details. Let's say I want people to share details like how much income do they generate, right? I just want to drag myself towards right because I don't need it as of now. So uh, and what I'm going to go is I'm going to go to the custom fields on the top right hand side, and then I'm going to come to the bottom section where you can see add custom fields. So I'm going to click on add custom fields, right? You already have yearly revenue here, which I created earlier. Let's say I want something else. Okay, instead of yearly revenue, I want uh, so I want a drop down, multiple drop down, which means that you can select multiple options in this drop down. Okay, so I want to add that. Okay, and I want to click on next. I want to click on field name. I want to make it like dependents. We build a lot of funnels and websites for our clients. So the for insurance people, right? Dependence is something that's very crucial because that also matters on how much of loan you can get, how much of cover you will have, right? And this is important. So you have to group. I'll just add the group to general info. Here you can add, right? Also, you also have to write the value, right? Okay. So here I'll write person one, right? A one person. Oh, I'll just write one. Okay. I'll just write basic one. Then I'll write two. Then I'll write three. Then I'll write four. Then I'll write five. Okay. So there are five options, and I can select any one of them or multiple. This is basically multiple choice. Okay. Or I can write father, mother, daughter, son, and pet. Okay, let's say you want an insurance, for whom you want an insurance, so and that's what I'm writing. That's it. Okay, I'm just going to save this. So what it's going to do it's going to add it in this part. Okay, you can see it came. Now this is called as dependents. I'm going to click here. I'm going to add it, and when you click on this, I'm going to show it to you. So if you just preview it, right? So it's not previewing just the way website builder does, right? So let's say if you just add something, this is my email in case you want to reach out. I agree. Next. Dependents. Now you can check, right? You can check father, right? You can have daughter, right? You can have pet, right? That's how you can do it. This is freaking amazing. Okay. I'm not stopping here. So I'm just going to proceed forward. And I'm also add yearly revenue, right? Yearly revenue is something like you can check mark on this, right? What I can do here is, so okay, let me do one thing. Let me add one more slide to it. Okay, let me add the dependents on this page. Okay, sounds good. Okay, cool. So on the second page, we have this field called yearly revenue. How did I create it? It's very simple, guys. I actually showed it on the form video. You can check that out. But it was similar to what we created the dependent ones, right? You just have to use as the radio select button. Okay, so use the radio select button to get this added. Okay. Now here thing is you can use conditional logic. Okay, what do I mean by that? You can use conditional logic in order to decide how the flow is going to be on the landing page, okay, or basically on the survey. Okay, so when I clicked on this dependents, right, sorry, the yearly revenue, and then you can see on the right hand side I have some fields. Okay, so here if you see you have $1,000, sorry, $100,000 to $300,000, 300 to 500, 500 to a million. Okay, so if they are, if the yearly income is only $100,000 to $300,000, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to disqualify them immediately. Okay, so I'm going to disqualify them immediately. If they have 300 to $500,000, uh, I'm okay with it. If they have 500 to $1 million, I'm still okay with it. They can continue to proceed, and I'll show it to you how it's going to look. Okay, so that's there, and this is dependence. I think this is done. I'll just make it required. I'll just make everything required. Otherwise, people can skip through it. So, right, I believe we are all done. Right. I just want to show you one more thing. So let's say we are done with adding all the fields in here. Okay. Let me just drag myself there. Yeah, gone. Okay. Now what I want to do is I want to have some styling options, right? What you can show is you can see that whether you want label or not. So the label will be there or it will be gone, right? Input style, you can have box or you can have lines, whether you want lines. I like boxes, right? Border, background is white. You can make it like dark also if you have a darkest branding, and that's up to you. Then you have border, right? You have the border color. Then you have the corner radius, right? I want to make it like, let's say 20. This looks good. The form just looks a bit curvish, neat and clean. Width is 550, fine. I can make it like 800 also, right? Make it a bit more lengthier, but it's up to you how do you want it. I want to make it like 600, or 600 is fine, right? Top padding 20, I can make it like 60, right? It basically adds the padding here, but I'm okay with 20, right? Left padding means the padding here, so instead of 40 I can just add like 90, then it will add the 90 pixel space here. I'm okay with 40. Shadows color is the color that you see here. Since I have the border, uh, border blue color, right, at the bottom, I'll make it blue, right? I'll just make it slight blue. Okay, I think this looks much better. Um, Field style, I have black, but I want to keep it white, right? I can make it a bit grayish also, or what I can do is I can make it a bit bluish also, right? If you see here, slight blue, very little blue. I think that just looks very amazing. All right, font color is black, right? Border is 1 is fine. I can make it 5 also. That's how it's going to look in case you want to do it, but I'll keep it at 1, right? The border type is solid, which basically means that how the border is going to look. If you make it dashed, then it's going to look like this. I'm going to show it to you. Just make the border 5, then this is how dashed looks like. Okay, so I just want to make it 1, and I'm going to make the corner radius. Okay, this is fine. A dash, I'll change it to solid. Corner radius is 5. I think that's okay. But this is not required. Padding here is 9. Padding here means padding inside these name, full name and all. So if I just have to show you, then you can see here the space got increased. Basically the padding inside those boxes got increased. Okay, I hope you're liking my tutorial, guys. If you do, make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel and add a lovely comment. That will be amazing. I'll really appreciate that. But anyways, let's continue. Left padding is basically the padding here, like in this area. So if I just have to show it to you 40, then it takes more pixels. So I'm just going to keep it 20. Right, shadows here, if you can see, is white. There is no shadow applied here because horizontal is 0. So let's not apply it. Let's not make it too much of colorful rainbow. Let's keep it simple and premium, right? Label is color is fine, all that fine. Short label is also fine. Placeholders are gray. I think they are fine. We can make it blue if possible, or darker blue. Okay. Yeah, a bit darker is fine. Okay. Footer, right? Footer means this is the footer, right? Footer, you can have like this next option. What you can do is you can have it stick to survey, or you can make it like at the bottom. I'll just show it to you. You see here? So what this means is that when you have a survey like this, and when you turn off the, inside this footer, it's going to come at the bottom of your entire screen. Okay, by screen I mean it can be your laptop. I mean it can be laptop screen, desktop screen, or the available space basically, right? And this might not look the best, so I like the previous one. So I'm just going to go into the styles, right? And I'm going to turn this on, right? Background fill is what you can choose. You can make it like green, right? You can see depending on what is the brand color that you currently have, and then you can use it again depending on your requirement, right? Um, Progress bar you cannot enable because you have this sticky survey, stick to survey. If you turn this off, then it automatically gets enabled. You can also have this old one, this percentage bar, like we had earlier, or you can have this one, which is showing 1 out of 3 and all, right? So it's up to you which one you like. You can see at the bottom it changes, okay, showing 1 to 3, showing this. But I like the first one. So within the entire form, that just looks pretty nice. Buttons, I don't think this needs to be an option. This is not required. Here, yeah, a preview next, right? That is there. So preview next. Oh, sorry, previous, right? Where is previous, by the way? Okay, yes. So previous, you won't find it on the first slider, and the obvious reason is there is nothing to go to the previous page, but on the second page you will find it. So that is there. You can change the colors, by the way, depending on what you feel is important, right? So that's up to you. There is some CSS if you want. There's a background image also that you can grab. So let's say I want to grab this image here altogether, then you can have it, and it's going to have the entire background set as this color, which I don't really like it, but I mean, if you want it, you can have it, something like that. Okay, I don't want it. Header is there. Agency branding means you'll have your agency being mentioned. I love high level, but I like to turn that off for now, right? You have themes also, which theme basically means that you can use their pre-made templates. The templates are nice, but you can customize it according to your requirements, and I'll highly suggest you do that because that will be much better, right? Always customize things, and that's what makes your entire website and experience much more customizable and premium, right? And you go to options, you just have the survey name. On submit, what happens, right? On submit, you get a message, thank you for this, or you can also get an URL depending on how you set it, right? So if you remember, if you do not have 100,000 to, if you have 100,000 to $3,000, then you will be disqualified. And here is a disqualifying message as well, right? Thank you for taking the time and all of that to complete this survey and all of that, right? So basically you're disqualifying it. And then you can also add Facebook pixels. So if you want to track it, but you can ignore it if you are on a landing page or a funnel or a website on GoHighLevel, and you can add it then and there. So that's there. Um, enable time zone, enable GDPR fonts, but that's okay. GDPR font, scroll to top. What does okay? Turn on the survey will scroll on top. Next slide. Yes, definitely I want it. Disable auto navigation. Right. If you disable it, no, that's okay. I want to enable it. Sticky contacts. I think we are done with this, right? I think I'll just save this entire setting, and I want to show it to you how it's going to work. Okay, I'm very excited about that. So, by the way, you can also integrate. If you click on integrate, right, you can get the embed code, the iframe code, which you can add to an HTML element, or you can also get the link, right? You can take this link and send it to anyone, and that's also going to work, right? I just want to click on preview. Preview will also basically give you the details. So I'll just write my full name. I'll write my email. I'll write my false number. I'll click, by the way, terms and conditions, if you remember, terms and conditions, we added pritam.com. So they're going to, by default, go to my website, right? But make sure you added your own real terms and conditions. I'll click on agree, right? Now I will click on next. Okay, and you see this looks very nice because this has this lightish blue stone, and also the navigation is actually on the bottom of the this card and not at the screen. So I really like it. I'll just go to the next page. Now if you see here, what do you think will happen if I click on, if my revenue is $100,000? It's going to disqualify me right away. If I click on $300,000 to $500,000, or if I click on $500,000 to $1 million, then it's going to help me to proceed forward and then select the people in their home, parents, and everything, right? I just want to give you a live demo of this, of how conditional logic work. So when you click on $100,000 to $300,000, on which you've already said that this is going to disqualify, so it's going to show me a message. Thank you for taking the time and complete the survey. This basically disqualified me without giving me an option to proceed forward and fill up the next form. Okay, I just want to show you once again. So I'm just going to fill up the details again. I'll go to the next step, and then now I'll click on, let's say, 500,000 over $1 million is what my revenue is. Then you will see dependents, right? Now I have the option to select the dependent, whether it's father, or it's my mother, it's daughter, son, pet. I want to select father. I'm going to select mother, and then I'm only going to select, that's all, father and mother. I don't want for the kids or for the pet. Okay, then I'm going to click on submit. When I click on submit, the message will come. Thank you for taking the time to complete the survey, which is the message that you have set here. Thank you for taking the time to complete the survey. And this is the disqualifying message which you have set here. Okay, so that's how the entire survey thing works. And you can see the survey details of the survey submissions. So if you go back, right, and just save it. Okay, so as you go back, you're back to the builder, right? Here you can see the survey we created, lead gen survey. Here, if you go to the drop down option, you will be able to see submissions. Okay, when you click on submissions, you will be able to see the submission that we did, right? I showed it to you, the submissions. So you can see that this submissions came through, right? Pritam Bhadra, digital, my phone number, right? My value, everything. So since when I selected 100,000 to 300,000, I was disqualified. So that information didn't came into our own system because we don't need it, right? That is a junk lead. That is a lead that we do not need. That does not fulfill our criteria to become a lead. So in that case, That's not in our system. But what is in our system is the lead that qualified, is the lead that had that chose $500,000 to $1 million in revenue. And you can see here that I have all the details about it, right? You have my name, you have the email, you have the phone number. I have agreed to the terms and condition. My yearly revenue is this. This is the time zone. This is the IP. Everything is given here. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's how you build a survey in GoHighLevel. I hope you liked it. If you did, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel because I'm going to bring amazing tutorials on GoHighLevel on this channel. I'll see you soon.